Hey guys, what is going on? It's Austin here, and today I got a video for you, and we are ranking all of the Uncharted games from worst to best. But before I get into it, I just want to say Uncharted Lost Legacy will not be in this video, mainly because it doesn't feature Nathan Drake as the main character. Instead, it has Chloe and Nadine. Sure, it was still a full-on Uncharted experience, but it's just not the experience we're looking for with the original game. Now, let's get right into it, to a game you probably don't even know exists, with our honorable mention, Uncharted Golden Abyss. I wanted to include this game into the mix due to it being considered canon to the Uncharted series on both PS3 and PS4. This game was original and focused on new characters and an entirely new plot, with the only familiar faces being Nathan and Sully. Strangely enough, this game is connected to the others, but is never referenced again in any of the future Uncharted games, and its story arc between Nate and Chase is completely erased, which is a shame because I really enjoyed those two being together. This game also looks amazing for being on a handheld system, and I'll say at least just as good as the next game on our list, which is definitely surprising to say since Uncharted Golden Abyss was made by Sony Bend rather than Naughty Dog. Now to the games that we all know and love, we have Uncharted 1. Uncharted 1 is a very basic adventure compared to the later releases, but it still grabs your attention beginning to end. Uncharted 1 still features the awesome set pieces we know and love from the series, but also includes some sections I dislike heavily, such as when you're going up that river in the boat, dodging those explosive barrels. It's just, the controls were so bad, and I don't know, it just slowed the whole pacing of the game. I felt like we were going, and then we got to that section, and it was like, oh, okay. Much like the others, this game also had a great setting, but although the jungle atmosphere was beautiful in the beginning, it soon got old. Uncharted 1 also suffers from repetitive gunfights, something I feel Uncharted 3 suffered from, but not to this extent. Even though Uncharted 1 had these faults, it is by no means a bad game, it just isn't as good as the others on the list. Next up, we have Uncharted 3. UC3 is without a doubt the most action-packed of all the games in this series, but in this situation, I feel like it kinda hinders the experience just slightly. Although sections like the plane crash, the sinking cruise ship, and the burning mansion are all very memorable and enjoyable sections, Uncharted 3 trades out the story depth for action-packed set pieces. Yet again, this isn't as bad as it seems, but when compared to some of the best games of all time, these minor problems seem more destructive than they actually are. Uncharted 3 did deliver some of the more creative puzzles in my opinion, and if you watch my Uncharted 3 series, you know I spent my fair share of time confused as hell trying to solve them. UC3 also improves upon the gunplay and climbing controls to the best it's ever been in the series up until this point, but of course they still had room to improve. Now the next spot on our list can go either way. Some would say Uncharted 2, others would say Uncharted 4, but for this ranking video, we have our runner-up spot going to Uncharted 2. Uncharted 2 takes everything great about the original and multiplies it by 10. Uncharted 2 improves on gunplay, climbing controls, and puzzles. It also acts as the in-between point in the Uncharted series. You know, the story isn't too grounded, but the action isn't on such a large scale the game suffers from it. Uncharted 2 also improves on the lack of atmosphere from the first one, and instead of just the jungle, we get a mountain area, a jungle area, and even the exploration of the lost city of Shambhala. Although Shambhala was a very beautiful area of the game, I unfortunately found the goons to be a little cheesy, and the idea of the main villain becoming invincible was too much like a comical superhero game to me. If I wanted to play a game to stop someone from drinking something to become invincible, I would just play Arkham City. And for our number one spot, of course it's the only Uncharted game left, we have Uncharted IV. Uncharted 4 delivers on the nostalgia feel for all the players from the original trilogy, while also introducing the backstory from the last games to the new players. Although Sam's character works in a narrative, I do feel like Naughty Dog made that shit up as they went, because they wanted to leave the series at an all-time high after the slightly lower reviews of Uncharted 3. Uncharted 4 also innovates with dialogue choices, although it's hardly used, it can practically be said it's a gimmick. But it also introduces a slightly open world area later in the game, which is something we saw later improved upon in Uncharted Lost Legacy. Thankfully, I can finally say the gunplay was perfected in an Uncharted game with this release. Uncharted 4 also took a different route by telling a pirate story rather than the completion of an ancient explorer's unfinished journeys. This is also followed by the best Uncharted hand-to-hand combat, and the best and most complete ending in the series. Also, let's not forget the Uncharted 4 man behind the trailer treasure. That pretty much explains this isn't your usual treasure hunter anymore. Nate isn't throwing himself after treasure carelessly, he has a family to think about and take care of.
Nathan Drake, that two-bit thief. Risking it all for some piece of treasure. I guess that's how they know me. How they'll remember me. But that's not who I am.
And also, it includes a beautiful cover of Where Is My Mind by the Pixies. If you guys have seen Fight Club, you know what I'm talking about. Uncharted 4 takes the action from Uncharted 3 and blends it perfectly with the storyline quality of 1 and 2 to create the best Uncharted game in the series. Tell me what you think about my list down below in the comments. Comment your list if you disagree with me, and give me reasons on why you would rank those games that way. Also, if you enjoyed this style of video, make sure to check out my ranking of all the Batman Arkham games. It'll be up in the top right, along with my Batman Arkham City playthrough. Anyway, have a wonderful day, everybody, and peace out.